Ouest 91.7.
RM1, it's 9 o'clock. The news presented by Ayrece Stewart. Good morning, Ayrece.
Good morning, Sophie.
We start with the headlines.
Prime Minister Navin Ramgoolam embarks on symbolic and strategic official visit to India to strengthen bilateral ties and boost cooperation in key sectors. Thousands of Mauritians expected in St. Croix this evening for the annual Père pilgrimage. Businessman Wendy Papaya defends source of wealth before Financial Crimes Commission, citing company revenues as investigators seize documents and luxury cars. Mauritius Fire and Rescue Service receives new rapid intervention vehicles and a rescue van as government announces further equipment purchases. Mauritians witness rare partial lunar eclipse as night sky spectacle draws astronomy enthusiasts island-wide. In world news, French Prime Minister faces looming collapse of government ahead of this week's no-confidence vote as political forces rally. And in sports news, Mauritius MCB cycling team heads to Cameroon as key preparation before World Championships in Rwanda later this month. Prime Minister Dr. Navin Ramgoolam is set to begin an official visit to India on September 9. The Indian media describes this trip as highly symbolic and strategic, aimed at strengthening the centuries-old ties between the two countries. Didier Rose tells us more.
The Prime Minister's program is expected to include several important stages. He will notably travel to Varanasi for a visit of spiritual and cultural significance. He is also scheduled to meet with India's highest authorities, including the President and the Prime Minister, in order to deepen bilateral partnership. Memoranda of understanding are expected to be signed to boost mutual investment and cooperation in sustainable development and renewable energy. These initiatives are seen as crucial steps for the economic future of both nations. Discussions are expected to cover various fields such as trade, technology, maritime security, and health. This visit is shaping up to be the key moment of cooperation between Mauritius and India. It is expected to lay the foundation of new agreements and strengthen political and diplomatic dialogue, sealing a long-standing friendship.
Thousands of Mauritians are expected this evening in St. Croix for the annual pilgrimage to the tomb of Père. A solemn mass presided over by Bishop Duron will be broadcast on NBC from 8 p.m. Police and Red Cross measures will also be in place to ensure safety and proper organization. The parish community of St. Louis Cathedral will also welcome pilgrims from 5 p.m. for a moment of reflection and prayer before heading to St. Croix. In detention since August 5, businessman Wendy Papaya is defending himself against allegations of questionable transactions. During hearings before the Financial Crimes Commission in the presence of his lawyer Yash Badin, he maintained that his luxury cars were purchased with income from his two companies, Dynapro Cleaning Services Limited and Rent a Cradle, specializing in the rental of aerial platforms for outdoor work. He also claimed to hold contracts with several companies. On Saturday, a search was carried out at his home in Trobar, and documents were seized by investigators. Among the vehicles concerned are collectible models such as the McLaren Artura and a BMW M8 series, among others. 5 rapid intervention vehicles and a rescue van have been officially handed over to the Mauritius Fire and Rescue Service. At the handover ceremony in the presence of the Minister of Local Government, Ranjiv Wuchit, he announced the upcoming purchase of additional equipment, including a 42-meter turntable ladder and aerial drones, among others. Ashok Ramdin, acting chief fire officer, welcomed the arrival of these vehicles equipped with the RFC Poly system, capable of producing a powerful foam for rapid and effective fire suppression. And in other news, Mauritians turned their eyes to the sky last night to witness a rare celestial spectacle, a partial lunar eclipse. From around 9 p.m., the moon gradually slipped into the Earth's shadow, offering stargazers a striking view as its surface darkened and took on a reddish hue. Astronomy enthusiasts gathered in various spots across the island, from rooftops to open fields, to admire the phenomenon. According to the Mauritius Astronomical Society, the eclipse was visible in its entirety across the island, lasting just over 2 hours. Experts say such events are not only breathtaking but also important for raising public interest in science and astronomy. The next lunar eclipse visible from Mauritius is expected in 2026. And moving international, barring a major surprise, Francois Bayrou's government is expected to fall this week, with calls for a nationwide blockade on Wednesday also underway. The future French Prime Minister is hanging by a thread with a vote of confidence that on paper looks highly unfavorable. As the vote needs an absolute majority, it only takes more than half of those voting to reject the confidence motion to bring down the Prime Minister and his government. The vote requires an absolute majority of those casting ballots, meaning more than half would need to reject the government for the Prime Minister and his ministers to fall. Meanwhile, almost all political forces have indicated they will oppose the motion. And finally, in sports, the Mauritius MCB cycling team is back in action this week. The Mauritian squad will be taking part in the Tour Chantal Biya in Cameroon, a competition running from September 10 to 14. It's an important stage in preparation for the riders ahead of the World Championships in Rwanda at the end of September. And moving in tennis, Carlos Alcaraz was unstoppable as he defeated Yannick Sinner in 4 sets on Sunday in the US Open final by clinching his 6th Grand Slam title and his 2nd this year after Roland Garros. The 22-year-old Spaniard regains his place as world number 1. That's all from me this morning. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned to the Intermeet playlist now until 10 a.m.